Critical hit Punch All Nazis takes place in the early days of World War II and combines high adventure with cosmic horror. All dates, locations, and historical events are thrown out the window in order to create a fun story, so don't put too much thought into historical inaccuracies. All accents are done poorly, but with love, and no disrespect is intended. Last time
on Critical Hit.
I want to know what's what, how, where.
It kind of sounded like it was saying Shoggoth or something like that.
Walks you over to a refrigerator.
If you're going to open that and the face is in there, I don't want to see it.
And then you hear some commotion out at the front of the street.
Uh-oh.
And then an explosion. A huge explosion rocks your area, and it's coming from the front of the building. Instantly, a couple of soldiers that are loitering around in the back of the building start rushing to the front, rushing past you towards the front of the building and towards the sound of the explosion.
I think I'm going to pretty much immediately turn and go, let's go get our driver and rush off to the garage.
You're going to rush off to the garage?
Was I not with you guys?
Yeah, everybody's together.
He was with us now.
Yeah, everybody's together.
Let's go get some wheels then.
Let's still run away to the garage.
Okay, so you go down into the garage and it's just bedlam. There's smoke and debris and people are running left and right. People are like, get upstairs, get out the building. And people are running left and right, and it's chaos. You see, it looks like maybe a portion of the front of the building is down in the sub-basement.
That's not good.
That is not good.
Hey, Bug Eater, where's the Tommy gun?
In our quarters?
Okay. Let's get out of here.
Okay. You're in the back of the building, and you see some soldiers coming from the front, and they're carrying some people that are obviously injured. And one of the soldiers looks at you and says, "What are you standing around for? Go help."
Yes, sir.
We'll move towards the front, but Dutch is not immediately going to help.
Okay. All right.
I'm actually going to cross the street and start looking around for suspicious.
Okay, that's good. Keep that in mind. So you guys come to the front of the building. As you reach the main street, you can see that the entire front of this building has collapsed. You can see inside each floor of the building. There's papers flying everywhere. There's debris falling. You can see at one point, the cook is coming out of from the first floor, and he is holding a woman. Doc would recognize this woman as the librarian that he had an encounter with earlier. Her arm is clearly broken because you can see bone sticking out of the skin. Her face is covered in blood. Her one ankle seems to be going a weird direction, but the cook is helping her out. You can see other people helping get people away. There is a lot of confusion on the street. You can see people, just general public people, coming from all directions to see what has gone on. Some people are there, and they're trying to also dig through the rubble to try and help and find people. One woman is kind of standing in the middle of the street screaming, "I saw what happened. I saw everything." And let us begin with who would like to go first. Rodrigo.
I'll go talk to that woman who's screaming while also keeping an eye out. Okay.
So you approach this woman, and she seems somewhat in hysterics. There's another man who's got his arm around her, comforting her. It doesn't appear like anyone from Section M is really paying attention to her, because they're very much concerned with their own people and trying to find their own people in all of the debris that has come raining down.
I'll walk up to her. What language is she screaming in?
The language that you and I can both understand. She's probably
Okay.
screaming in Flemish.
Okay. Then I address her in French because I don't speak Flemish.
Okay.
Um,
I saw everything. I saw everything.
what did you see?
There was a man, a skinny, tall man with a hunch and greasy hair. He was having an argument with a woman with red hair, and she pulled out a gun and shot him and then ran. And then I was going across the street to help the man she shot, and that's when the explosion happened.
Okay.
Oh, this is horrible. That poor man under the rubble.
So did this happen in front of the building?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Also, Rodrigo, why don't you give me an observation and insight? Difficulty 2.
Let me buy a die with momentum.
Okay.
So
Use
we'll
your
do
1 momentum.
3d20 less than 11.
Okay.
3 successes.
Excellent. So you've heard this woman, screaming in hysterics because she saw a man and then the explosion. But you are looking around and across the street. It is a little difficult. But you notice that in the crowd, there appears to be generic man, just a man, no distinguishing features, average height, average build, brown hair. And he appears to be taking pictures of the scene and the people that are there.
Does he look like a reporter or does he look like...
He's wearing regular clothes. So maybe he is a reporter. Maybe he's just somebody that's like, oh, I need to take pictures of this because, I have a fascination of blown up buildings.
Sure.
Who doesn't?
I will go next.
All right, Doc, what are you going to do? You rush out and you see all this chaos.
Okay. Does the cook seem to have that particular injured person under control, or?
I mean, she's not in hysterics or anything, and he's taking her back behind the building where you saw some of the other people that were injured being taken to. So it appears like that might be a gathering point, like perhaps their safety officer in the building was like, hey, if there's ever a problem, we're going to congregate here. Okay. And for anybody that's been a safety officer, that's exactly what happens.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm probably going to look for people in the rubble.
Okay. So what I
whoosh in, my training kicks in.
Okay. What I need for you to do is I need for you to do a brawn plus athletics check, difficulty 2, because there's a lot of rubble here.
Oi. Difficulty 2?
Yep.
Oh.
You do. There is 1 momentum.
Okay.
Threat's also
I think
an option.
And also threat is an option as well.
If I do want to take a threat, will I be immediately crushed by falling masonry?
No, threat is up to me to use whenever I want to use it.
Okay, and it's less.
And he uses it like momentum. It's a dice enhancing thing.
Okay. Yeah, that ain't good. All right, so I'm gonna do it.
You're gonna give me a threat?
I'm gonna give you a threat.
Okay.
And my threat is, how dare you? No, wait. Scrapow. 1 success. Oof.
1 success.
Oof.
There's a lot. I mean,
You did that backwards.
Did I?
Oh yeah, do it the other way.
Oh,
Well, I
my
mean,
bad.
we know what it is. It's a 386. It's supposed to be less than 7, so that would be 2 successes.
You have 2 successes. Yes.
2 successes. Okay.
Yes. So
less
the
than
rubble
7, so the point goes to
the rubble is very heavy, but you kind of climb up on top of the mounds and you're pulling bricks and mortar and wood, and there's paper flying everywhere, and you are scraping around all of that, and you find a body of an older woman. She's lying face down.
Yeah, okay. Does she have a pulse?
I don't know. She's lying face down.
I'm gonna. Okay, so she's. I have cleared away rubble, and I found a woman.
Yes.
I'm gonna check her pulse.
Okay. She maybe kind of has a pulse. It's really hard to tell with your skills. Maybe if you flipped her over, you might have some better.
Okay, I will very carefully and appropriately flip her over.
It is the brigadier's secretary.
All right. Is she breathing?
Her eyes fly open, and they are black. And she looks directly at you, and she says, "The old ones were, the old ones are, the old ones shall be." And she passes out dead. Please roll a will plus resilience difficulty 2, please.
I suppose I'm okay with will. So if I'm looking at this, what is like an average person's score? I mean,
so we talked about this before. So 8 is average across the board. Mm-hmm. So anything below 8 is technically below average.
Okay. 1 success.
1 success.
Have I gone insane?
Well, we are going to find out. You take 1 mental stress, but your courage covers you, so you are okay. But this is a little, you're taken aback by this. I mean, here's this woman that you were just having a conversation with not too long ago, now dead. Her eyes went black. She screamed some crazy stuff at you, and then she died.
Would Dutch been the only one who had noticed the photographer?
Yes.
No. Okay.
Can I point him out?
Only as an assist.
All right.
So it depends on what Valentina wants to do. Then you have to also roll the same thing, and your success will give him a success.
Could I have overheard the woman, what she said about the hunchback and the red-haired lady and all that?
She's pretty hysteric. Yes, she's yelling and screaming fairly loud.
Okay,
so you can hear that if you like.
Yeah, I'll definitely be scoping out and seeing if I. It sounded like she said the gentleman is under the rubble, but see if I notice the lady or if anyone else of note who may be in the crowd. And
okay, you can also do an insight plus observation.
Righty.
Difficulty 2, because there's there's lots of people.
Let's see. I do have pretty good insight and observation.
Soldiers are continuing to pull. Rubble is around listening. They're going, hello, hello, trying to see if they can hear anybody calling back.
I will just.
And it's just chaos. It's literally chaos where you're at.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to go with the base dice with the hope that perhaps my focus and sight under observation may help to get me to.
What is your focus rank?
5 in observation. So trying to roll 16 or better for. Oh, 2 I only successes. Rolled 1 D12. Yeah, well, I guess that is 2.
2 successes. Go ahead and roll one more. 3 successes. So that'll give you another point of momentum.
Yeah. So 4 if my sight does in fact.
Oh, yeah, that's right. So 2 more successes. Very good.
All right.
Very good. You look around and you see redheads, right? You see some redheads standing around looking. You see some redheads running up to the scene. You see some redheaded women running away from the scene. Now, I don't know what the entire makeup of redheads is, but you can see maybe 5 redheaded women in total. And of course, there's going to be everything from the bright redhead all the way down to the darker auburn redhead
reddish
that
brown,
that are running around. None of them appears to be carrying a gun.
Okay. No, I think I'll see if anyone else has any ideas. At least I got us some momentum to work with.
All right. Blisco, what do? You come running out and you see all this chaos and people digging around, trying to find people that are buried under the rubble. It's clear that like the first 10, 15 feet of the building is missing, just in a big collapse. It's going all the way down into the sub-basement.
Make my brain function. Hold on.
That would be a will plus academia check.
Yeah, that's a terrible idea. That is my worst possible combination.
Okay.
Start helping with rescue efforts, seeing if I can find people under the rubble and pull them out. If I know if there's anybody that's obvious.
Okay. Also roll a brawn plus athletics difficulty 2.
Brawn is 8. Athletics is 1, so it'll be 9. We're gonna spend a momentum on this.
Okay. Nice.
Got
2
there.
successes. Very good. And you didn't have a focus on any of those, did you?
No.
Okay. Very good. You clear away the rubble closest to the building, and you see a hand. And it's a well-worn hand. It's a hand. Well, I mean, it's not been worn well, but I mean, you can tell that it's the hands of someone who works a lot with their hands. There's grease underneath the fingernails. There's calluses all over the hands. And as you continue to clear away the rubble, you find the head mechanic who you just recently met, who gave you a chance to go and work on the cars. He is dead.
All right, now's not the time to think of it. Continue looking for more.
Okay, top of the round. Who would like to start this round off? You start to hear sirens in the far distance.
I'll go talk to the guy taking pictures.
Okay, so you walk across the street and you start walking towards him.
Yeah, I'd like to take a not completely direct path.
Okay,
so he doesn't see me just coming at him. And then when I get to a few feet from him, I'm going to basically hail him in German. I'm going to be like, "Hey, man," but in German.
Okay, roll an agility plus stealth, please. Difficulty 2.
Let me take a momentum.
Okay.
I get 0 successes, and in fact, I get a 20.
You got a complication. So you're pushing through the crowd, and the crowd is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, so it's harder to push through. And, a lot of the people that are arriving, some are standing around watching, but a lot of them are trying to get as close to the building as they can, maybe to help. But a lot of them are just kind of standing around. So as you're pushing and shoving your way through, some people are like, "Hey, watch it there." But in the language that they speak and that you also understand.
Right.
And one of them says it loud enough that the man taking the pictures, with the camera, he turns and sees you and starts to walk in the opposite direction away from you at a very fast pace. But the crowd is so thick that he is gaining a lot of distance on you.
Okay.
Who would like to go next? Bug Eater?
Sure.
You were wanting to continue to dig for people?
Yeah.
Okay. Brawn plus athletics, difficulty 2.
Yep. Nope.
1 success. This is very difficult. Some of the rubble slides back down, and you can hear some of the soldiers yelling at you, "Hey, watch what you're doing." Who would like to go next?
I would like to go next.
All right, Matthew. What is Doc going to do?
Kind of the same thing I think that Blisco is. I'm going to attempt to find someone in the rubble that isn't, possessed.
Okay. Well, I mean, maybe she's possessed. I don't know. It seems certainly scary, but it certainly seems like
she's dead.
Yeah, she's certainly dead. Yes. So you're going to dig around in the same area that she was?
Yeah. Do I need to get her remains out of here, or
no? If she's obviously dead, then I would. I mean, at some point the remains will need to be removed, but I think right now the urgency is let's find alive people. Yeah.
Okay.
So Brawn plus athletics, difficulty 2.
1 success.
As you're moving some bricks around, you hear a voice underneath all the rubble. Hello. Brian.
It's Brian?
No,
Yes.
It's not Brian. It's Brian's turn.
Get me out of here. No, anyway. I think with the Dutch yelling after that guy and him running off, I think that will probably, give me thinking maybe I need to try to catch him, and so try to dodge my way through this crowd to get him.
Okay, that would be, I'm going to say agility plus athletics.
All right.
I have 2.
0 athletics. And
all right.
Agility is my worst stat.
Okay.
And we have no momentum. Oh boy.
I mean, you can still give threat, so you can always give threat.
And there's always
fortune.
There's always fortune.
Mm-hmm.
No, I do have
so
fortune.
If it's a difficulty 2, you could just basically succeed at it.
Yeah, I
and
will
also roll a die.
Yeah.
All right. And also roll a die to see if you get any momentum off of that.
Yeah. So less than 7. Let's see. I mean, it could happen. Hey, there we go.
All right. So you gain
3
back
success.
one momentum. You start to push your way through the crowd as you're starting to create a tangent point where you might meet up with this guy. And as you are rushing towards him, he ducks down a side alley and disappears from your sight. Not to say that he is gone. He has just disappeared from your sight.
You went down this alley.
Okay. Some people stop and they're looking around to see what you're talking about. They seem to be more concerned with, the destruction in front of them and still trying to find people. Let's do another round.
Another round.
And who would like to start this round?
I would like to start this round.
The sirens are getting louder. You
There's a voice.
Yeah, the wee was, and the ooh, 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 are coming closer.
There was a voice.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to attempt to extricate the owner of the voice in the hopes that it's a human with a body.
Brawn and athletics, difficulty 2, please. Remember, you can also use momentum to, if you look at your cheat sheet, you can increase your chances, obviously. I thought there was one, or maybe it's the fortune, where if you spend 2 momentum, you can create a truth. And truths could be something that is to your advantage in this scene.
And that would allow me to create a truth. I would like to try this because I've never created a truth.
Yeah, let's try it. What is the truth that you would like to create?
That whoever is under there is now safe.
Okay.
I have removed them from the rubble, and the truth is they have been safe.
Well, you can't remove them from the rubble. You can't. It's
Right.
it's not a success. But you can create a truth that is like there is a lot less rubble in this area.
Okay.
So let's try this. There's a lot less rubble in this area, and so it's not going to be as difficult to remove the rubble.
Okay.
And then we could say,
could a truth be something like a piece of load-bearing wall fell in such a way that he's under it?
No, it could be that. It could also be that 2 other soldiers come up to assist you on this. The end result is we can lower the difficulty to 1.
Okay.
Or bystanders or whoever come to assist you.
Yep. I like that. I think that, yeah.
We will call this truth. We will call this truth kindness of strangers.
Yes. People heard a voice beneath the rubble, saw a man digging, and immediately came up and said in German, "Ich bin ein Helpinger." And so
you need to roll
I now need 1 success.
Yes.
And I'm going to roll this 1 success right now. God, purpled.
Okay. You slip and tumble.
I die. Oh no!
No, you don't die, but you slip and tumble, and you probably poke yourself a little hard on some outcroppings. You're probably going to need a tetanus shot later. But the other people are able to clear away the rubble from that area, and from out of the rubble comes Brigadier Fennessy. He appears to have no injuries. He's got some dust on him. And his uniform is perfectly pressed. Still, it's like nothing, no injuries came to him, even though he was underneath all this rubble. And if you remember what floor he was on, and you know that his secretary was also on that floor, and she was pretty dead, and he is not.
Oh.
I will allow you to have 1 interaction with him, Matthew.
Sir, are you all right?
I don't know. And he's touching his body. Like, am I injured anywhere? And he pauses when he touches his chest on his breast, he pauses for a moment and he's like, oh. And then he kind of, he gets help down off the rubble and he starts to move to the side so he can see everything that's going on and those around him. He starts directing some soldiers. You there, help over there, and let's get the crowd back.
That's eerie.
Yeah. Who would like to go next?
I'd like to take off down that alley.
What do we need to do? Typically, I would just say an agility plus athletics check to chase him down.
Oh boy!
Describe what you're doing here, and let's see what we can come up with.
Yeah, I'm gonna just kind of dash down the alley and just see if I can get back an eyesight of him, or just try to figure out if I can, just keep tabs on him so that hopefully we can, assuming Dutch also follows lead.
All right. I think Dutch is still maybe in the throng, but why don't you rush across the street and you look down the alley to see if the man is there. And so let's do an observation plus observation plus
insight.
I guess insight, yeah.
Okay.
And this would be a difficulty of 2.
All right. I will roll my 2 dice and 2 successes.
Wow. Very good. Very, very good. You reach the alley and you peer down. It's very dark down this alley. There's dust filling the air, but you can see all the way down the alley to the street across. So this is like 40 yards or so down to the other street, maybe a little bit longer. And you can just catch the man turning left. You just see like his foot, and that's all you see. He's way far ahead of you.
Okay.
All right. Who has not gone this round?
I don't think I've gone this round.
Okay. Rodrigo and Bug Eater. Either one of you may go.
I'll go next since mine seems less likely to actually bring interesting things.
You never know.
The soldiers that were getting frustrated with me in the last one, I'm going to move over and just start assisting them.
Okay. All right. So you're going to do an assist. All right.
Yeah.
You succeed in assisting them. Is there anything else that you would like to do? I mean, like specifically, what are you doing? Are you assisting in helping move the injured to the back of the building? Are you also clearing away rubble? Are you going into the bowels of the building to see if there's any injured peoples back there?
Right this moment, Blisco is going to play good soldier and take orders from whoever is giving them, because this is not his area of expertise, and he knows that the lives are more important than him trying to make the decisions.
Sure. Okay. So in Nebraska, certainly you deal with a lot of grains, mostly corn, but not as much wheat. But you've seen an elevator explosion, right? Have you seen an elevator explosion in Blisco's life?
Maybe. I don't know if that would have been a thing just yet.
I mean, certainly elevator explosions.
There were elevator explosions before, or like silo explosions.
Yeah, silo explosions, elevator explosions. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so you know that, sometimes when things are blown outwards, there's a lot of stuff that accumulates towards the base or the area where the explosion looks like it was originated from.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you roll an observation plus insight, difficulty 2. You start to move back into the building to see if there's anything back there, because people just want you to help in some way.
Nope.
No successes. Okay, it's this smoke and fire and dust and debris is choking you, so you have to back out of the area.
Okay.
Rodrigo.
I will try to get out of the crowd and see if I can triangulate with Valentino to catch the photographer.
Valentino, did you shout out anything besides he ran down the alley?
Yeah, and if I'm in eyesight of Dutch, I'd be like, he went that way.
So you're going to do an assist on this.
Okay.
So Rodrigo, you will need to roll a. What are you going to do? Are you going to try to go and chase down this guy, or are you trying to figure out which direction he might be moving, or what?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try to math it.
Okay.
Alternately, if I can see him, I could just throw something at him.
Yeah, he would be like, he's the next block over.
Yeah, so basically, instead of following the exact path that him and Valentino have gone, I'm going to be like, okay, well, I know this town a little bit, so blah, 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 blah. Trying to go down, some other way.
Oh man, that would be like a knowledge check or something. Would it be? I don't know. I don't know if academia would work specifically, but we can do academia and insight.
Yeah, I definitely took at least one
course in
civil engineering or urban planning.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so insight plus academia.
Okay, insight 9, 10, 11.
I'll do a difficulty of 1 on this.
Okay. You know what? I am just going to spend a fortune.
Okay.
And roll a die. And I'll get a success. So that'll be 3 successes.
All right. So you get 2 momentum. 1 is a success. Yeah, you continue. You see where Valentino takes off down the alley, and you hear him saying, he's running that way. And so you triangulate, and you know that if you continue to run, let's say north, and the alley would be facing east, you're running down the street. You know that guy's on the next block over. And as you pass the next alley, you look down and you can see that guy almost running at the same pace as you, maybe a little bit faster. Mm-hmm. And so you're going to continue to, I'm guessing you're going to continue to run to see if you can get ahead of him.
Yeah.
Okay. So if
the terrain ever like lines up for me to just straight up cut across.
You know that coming up is a main intersection. And this is one of those weird main intersections where the streets kind of angle in together. So yeah, if you keep running forward, you're going to basically run into this guy at the end of the block. However, we need to see if you can continue to run fast.
Okay.
So you need to do an agility plus resilience. Difficulty 2.
Agility plus resilience. I'll spend a momentum on it.
Okay. Oh, 2 successes and a complication.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm playing this like it's Shadowrun, baby.
Yeah, you continue to run and you're sprinting as hard as you can. Good thing that you are in the military because they have trained you to be in perfect health as far as the military goes. And you are used to running and marching. And so this is just like a walk in the park for you. You continue to run towards the end of the block and you take a left and you go bam right into the photographer guy and you both fall down. He looks at you and he can tell instantly, oh, this is one of the people that was in this building area. And he starts to scramble backwards away from you.
I'll scramble at him.
Okay. You scramble at him and you do a what?
I'll try to grab him. And in German, I'll say, who sent you?
All right. So you need to do an agility plus fighting. Difficulty 2. And my guy also needs to do an agility plus fighting.
Can I do coordination plus fighting?
No, because this is technically a hand-to-hand combat thing.
Can I do brawn plus fighting?
And you can do agility plus fighting because that's the hand-to-hand combat. Oh, on the wrong die here.
I'll lead another momentum.
Okay.
0 successes and a complication.
0 successes and a complication. Also, his opposed test, he also did not succeed. So you both failed in the struggle. And this man, falls back, kind of hits his head, and he hears you say in German, "Who are you? Where do you come from?" And you hear him say, "For the black sun!" And you hear him bite down, and you hear a crunch. And then suddenly foam starts coming out of his mouth.
Oh, no, he's got rabies.
Yes, he has rabies and he has died from rabies. If only he had water nearby, he probably would have drowned because he would have drank so much water from his rabies. But no, he is dead. He's foaming at the mouth. You heard the crunch, foaming at the mouth, and then he dies.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say at this point, Valentino finally catches up. I mean, he's in really good shape too, but you got to remember he had to take a 40-yard jaunt sideways before he could continue to run up and try to catch up with you.
Sure. Dutch is really going to hope that he didn't see him fumble for this guy, take off his shoe, then take off his sock as he was like trying to clutch at him. But Dutch will like straighten up and he's like, "Did you hear that?"
What was that?
He said, "For the black sun," and then can you believe that this whole cyanide capsule thing is true? I always thought it was like a talkies thing.
Here, I thought you just hit him that hard.
Not really. Okay, I'll start going through his pockets. If he still has the camera.
Yes, he still has the camera. So you can grab the camera. Also do insight plus observation, difficulty 2.
That guy just took his wallet. Did you see
He
that?
just took his wallet, yeah.
Insight plus observation.
There are people starting to gather around seeing what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay. You needed 2 successes. You got 2 successes. You find a German passport. It doesn't say, it doesn't say Black Sun or anything like that, but it is a German passport that would be issued by the controlling party of Germany in World War II. Mm-hmm. And you also find a wallet and you find a pocket watch. It's a very fine pocket watch. And other than that, it's just like, obviously the labels and the clothing, German made, nothing too out of the ordinary.
Okay. I will stash that stuff and then I'll be like, hey, Valentino, give me a hand. And we'll pick him up like he's like sick or injured. Like we'll throw his arms over our shoulders.
Okay.
We'll walk him back towards the building.
Okay. You're about
smart.
You're about 3.5 blocks away. That's fine. Okay, so while you guys are walking back and people are still rushing about, I mean, it's just mayhem. I mean, if you can imagine in a this is not a giant city, but this is a smaller town. It's large. You can just imagine this explosion has everybody just running helter-skelter and, bustling and pushing. Some people are trying to get closer to it. At this point, the police are showing up with fire trucks, and the fire trucks are showing up as well as you guys are making your way back to the building. We need to go and see what Doc and Bug Eater are doing. You're continuing to clear the rubble away and trying to help wherever you can. Bug Eater is coughing because this stuff is just all over the place, and who knows what kind of chemicals are in these buildings in the 1900s when they were built. Doc is kind of rubbing his sacroiliac. What is that? The base of your spine? Because you took that. Is that what it's called?
That's not what I call it.
But you're rubbing that because remember you took that tumble and got a little owie there. But it's nothing that you would have to take any physical stress for or anything like that. But as you're standing up, Doc, and rubbing yourself, you can see the general is, barking orders to people, and he's pointing things, and there's starting to be a little bit of a perimeter that's starting to form, keeping the public back. The general walks over to you, Doc, and he holds out a hand to lift you up. And he's, "Come along, lads, stand up. Are you okay?" And he's kind of dusting you off a little bit.
Yes, sir. Just a little bruising, I think.
I see. Bruising. Yes. Listen, I do not think that this area is safe, not because of the building, but because of we don't know who is behind this and who might still be here. And then he motions for Bug Eater to come over. Yes, Blisco, come here.
Yes, sir.
Listen, boys, we have been compromised quite a bit. I need a little bit of time, but I also don't need people seeing you here. What I would like for you to do, and where are your companions? Are they injured? Have you found them?
We split up right after the explosion, sir.
Okay, if you see them, what I would like for you to do, and he pulls out from his pocket a little notepad and he writes some stuff down. There is a cafe 5 blocks that way. Here's the address. I need you to split up, and I need you to meet me there and he looks at his watch, which again, miraculously unbroken in all of this. I need you to meet me there in 2 hours. Any questions?
I guess not.
So again, think about what you have seen. There have been mostly people in military uniform who are doing the swarming around. There have been civilians in civilian garb helping out a little bit. You are also dressed in civilian garb. So as far as what the general is, I guess, conveying is that no one knows that you're with them. But he wants to meet up with you in 2 hours at this address.
Yes, sir. We'll make ourselves scarce.
Very good. Very good. And so
you think we can get the car, Blisco?
Oh, I don't know. There's too much damage right now.
You can't go back inside.
Yeah. People would definitely wonder why a car would be driving through the rubble.
Well, it's already wrecked. You'd be like,
there is that car, but yes. But you two need to split up, is what he's also told you. So let's do a little scene. Are you guys going to split up, or are you going to stay together?
I mean, he's the brigadier general. I think we need to split up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Assuming we're informed of this when we...
You guys haven't quite reached the scene yet, but you're getting close.
Yeah. My next task is to try and track down the other two.
Okay. Again, the fire trucks are here. There's lights. The pumps are starting to go to put out fires. Police, there's a very heavy police presence as they're starting to put up barricades and pushing people back. It is still mass chaos. So to be able to just look through the crowd to see if you can see people, sure. Rob, why don't you roll an insight versus observation difficulty? I'm going to make this a difficulty 2 and use one of my threats.
Okay. I'm going to use one of my fortune.
All right.
So does a threat negate a fortune? Or vice versa?
No. So what I've done is I've increased the difficulty to 2. Rob is using a fortune to get 2 successes. He still needs to roll 1 die to see if there's complications or successes. And there is a complication. Oh,
bloody hell.
I'm just joking there, Rob. But this is a perfect example of why you need to roll that die anyway, because it could lead to another success, or it could lead to a complication. Now, complications, remember, Matthew, do not mean that you fail. You still have successes. There's just something bad that happens.
It gives you a card to play.
Yes.
And out of your sheer hatred for us as players.
No, I don't hate you guys as players.
It's a more personal level.
It's the as players part that makes it funny.
Blisco, you're standing there and you're looking around and you notice your 2 companions coming down the street, and they have a 3rd companion with them, which seems a little odd. And you're like, I don't want to say I'm not going to say what your actions are like. But what's a good complication here?
There's an actual reporter here.
Well, it could be.
Hey, I think they took that guy's wallet. Sorry. Not a good complication.
No, that's not a good complication. I think the complication here would be, because there's 3 of them, you don't instantly recognize that that it's your companions. And so they get a lot closer to where you are at. And there's more people now noticing these 2 carrying somebody. So if you would, so now there's a little bit more attention focused on your companions, on Arbogast and Valentino.
They're carrying someone, right?
Yeah, it's like how
the corpse of the guy.
Yeah, like I don't know. Have you guys have you as a team? You've been to Paris before you went to Brussels, and you've been in Brussels. You've been stationed in Brussels for about a month now. Did you guys ever go out and get really rip-roaring inebriated?
I mean, probably.
Yeah, sure. So you probably know what it's like to carry one of your companions home over your, between the 2 of you to get back to base. That's what it looks like.
We also know each other reasonably well. Do either of you 2 speak Polish?
Yes. Wait, okay. Let me double check.
Yeah, let's double check.
Yes,
because Rodrigo speaks a lot of language.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I was hoping for, because that's the only extra language that Blisco knows.
Guys, yep.
He's gonna go up to Dutch and Polish and be, I see you found someone, or your help. See you found, or you were able to find someone and helping this guy out. we've been told a couple of things. If you want to bring this guy to somewhere a little quieter so we can treat him.
You don't notice the foam has started to dissipate because of the 3-block walk and a slight breeze kind of blowing it away. So you don't see the foam coming out of his mouth. He just looks like somebody. He looks like somebody who is just, passed out from an injury or something.
I'll tell him this is an aggressive socialist. So we are just gonna set him down over here. And this is all in Polish.
Okay.
Did we get any orders?
Yes. We scatter and meet at such and such location in however much time. What
2 hours?
You said 2 hours, so an hour 45 minutes.
Relay that. I'll be like, okay, well, see you later. And I'll I'll block with Valentino and then tell him that because presumably he doesn't speak Polish.
No, I do not. Say que?
That would have been fantastically unplanned.
No.
Yeah.
I'd say before we walk away, maybe we snap a picture of this guy's face with his camera. I doubt that identifying him will really give us much info, but couldn't hurt.
Yeah, definitely. Good point there for the fighting gobblers there. Yeah, so you who's going to take the camera? Who's going to take the picture?
I think I took all his stuff, so I have his wallet, his camera, and I'll just,
all right. Snap. What do you guys, so tell me what you do with the body.
We'll just set it as close to the rubble as possible. And if anybody is looking quizzically at me, I'll just be like, he got blown clean over there.
Okay.
And I'll say it in bad French. I'll be like, he fly when building fall all the way down la.
So you put him down, you take the picture, and then, so is everybody going off in their own direction to this address?
Yeah.
Or are people pairing up?
Well, he said split up, so my instinct would be to go individually.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So I'm going to go individually.
So Doc, tell us about your adventures. How do you get to the address?
Well, I actually, as they started talking, and I heard, Blisco say, "Widzę, że kogoś znalazłeś."
Nope.
Which is, I see you found something. Anyway, sorry, I speak very little Polish. I start going the other direction, and if anybody gives me the eye, I'm like, "Oh man, did you see what happened back there?"
All right, so roll an agility plus stealth.
I'm
difficulty
sneaky.
of 2.
Oh.
We need to make sure you're not being followed.
And am I smart enough to know that I'm being followed?
That is a good question. I guess we're going to find out with this roll.
I guess we are. 1 success.
You needed 1 success. You needed 2 successes. You got 1 success. What's really nice is once you get about 2 blocks away from all the chaos, it's a very pleasant afternoon in Belgium. The birds are tweeting. No, you're not in Brussels. The birds are tweeting. The dogs are barking. People are out walking around. You maybe hear some people talking about the explosion a couple of blocks over, but it seems like just a normal average day. Are you making a straight beeline to the address?
No, I'm going to go maybe around a block and then come back around, and I don't want to seem creepy. I don't want to seem like I'm an Antwerp or something, but yes, I do stop.
Okay. And what do you do when you stop? You look at yourself in the shop window, adjusting
I stop
your
and
tie.
I wind my watch and I fix my hair and adjust my tie and check my spats.
You look at you're looking in the reflection in the shop window that you're standing at, and you just see a scary face staring back at you. It is your face.
My face is scary?
Yes. Oh yeah. You talk about how you're wild-eyed and you got a crazy look on it.
I do sometimes have a crazy look on my face.
Yeah.
Do I know I have this face on my face?
Roll a observation plus insight. Difficulty of 1.
Oh, I'm good at these. No, wait, I'm not as good as
God, I'm a weirdo.
Is that how I look? Man.
Oh, no, 0 successes. All right.
Look at that handsome guy.
I am shaken up.
I hate to do this to you, but I'm going to have to roll some damage die.
No!
You don't recognize the person that's staring back at you. I mean, certainly when you were back at the U.S. base in the town that's like 20 minutes north of the town that you're in now, right. You got to see yourself in the mirror every day. But the last couple of days, really, this is Friday, so your adventure started on a Wednesday. This is a Friday. You've gone through a lot, and the face that you see in the reflection seems to reflect that, and you take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mental stress.
Oh my word!
But the good thing is you have something called
courage.
And what is your courage?
6.
So you don't take any mental stress, but the revelation of seeing yourself after a couple of days is a bit shocking, especially after everything that you've seen. You've seen a horrible monster in the woods attacking you and your friends, killing one of your teammates. You have seen somebody using crazy magics to try and kill you. You have seen the torn up body or the autopsy body of the creature in the medical wing. You saw the face unfolded. And then you find these people that you've been interacting with for the last couple of hours or last day. A lot of them are dead, and one of them spoke to you. So yeah, this is a little bit frightening, but you are able to hold it together as you continue to make your way towards the address. Now, I'm sorry. Want to back up real quick. Did I tell you what was at this address, or did I tell you just to go to this address?
I thought he said that it was a cafe or like.
Okay, all right, yeah, it's a coffee shop. Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Okay,
like an automat is what I was thinking, but a cafe.
Yeah,
coffee shop.
It's a coffee shop where there a lot of people would gather. Okay, so you continue and you make your way to the coffee shop. Blisco, tell me about your adventures to the coffee shop.
He doesn't want to.
Do you go in the opposite? So which direction do you go in relation to where you saw Doc heading?
Or do
you follow? Or do you just follow him? But
Doc, I feel like it was realized that we were told to split up and just kind of turn and go different directions and see whichever one of us happens to find the other two first. And then go more or less the direction that the other two were coming from. So it looks like I wasn't entirely with them at all.
Okay. So you're walking back the path that they just came from. And again, you get, you wouldn't know where the incident with Valentino and Dutch and the dead person happened. But, you get that far down the street. And again, it seems to be a relatively pleasant day. Can you roll an agility plus stealth difficulty 2?
Oh boy. I might use a fortune on this one as well.
Okay. It's up to you. You guys are burning through fortunes.
Yeah, well, my total for this is 7.
Okay. I mean, it could be more fun. If you didn't succeed. Oh, you got 2 successes.
I got a momentum.
You got 3 successes. So we'll add 1 more momentum back into the pool. You are a little bit spooked by everything. So as you continue to move away, you keep looking back over your shoulder every couple of minutes, and it doesn't look like anyone is following you.
Well, that's good.
So what else happens on your way to?
Find somewhere I can clean up.
Okay. So there's probably a public toilet that you can go in and wash up in.
Yeah. And then, just anywhere I can kill a little bit of time before.
Where do you want to go? You going to go hang out in the park, or are you going to go?
Yeah, hanging out in the park seems reasonable. It seems
okay.
Not suspicious at all.
Yeah, not suspicious at all. I mean, obviously there are not as many people in the park as there normally would, because they're probably all trying to to head over and see all the excitement. I mean, Brussels had the blimp the other day, and so here's an explosion here, and so this is pretty exciting. So a lot of people are going down to see what that is. So there's not as many people in the park as normally would be. You pass by a couple sitting on the bench, and they're kind of holding hands and kind of looking at each other. And please roll an insight plus observation, difficulty 1.
All right.
Oh, wow.
Hey.
2 successes off that. All right. So you get another point of momentum. As you pass this couple, they're kind of looking lovingly at each other. You notice that the man on his hand, that he's holding the woman's hand, so they're sitting next to each other. They're longingly looking at each other. He's holding his hand in hers with his hand on top. And as you pass, you notice that he has these like black boils on his hand. And when you look up at the woman, you can see on the corner of her mouth, she also has like this black seeping wound on her, on the corner of her mouth, going all the way down her chin. And they're acting like there's nothing wrong with this.
Oh, this scene ain't right.
Yeah. Roll me a will plus, what did you have to roll, Matthew, for your spookiness?
Will plus
probably.
resilience.
Oh yeah, will plus resilience, difficulty 1. I'm going to use a threat. I'm going to make it a difficulty of 2.
Oh.
All right.
1 success.
He's
Yep.
threatening you.
All right.
How did you have 6 courage,
3.
Matthew?
It's
I'm
based on
just
his.
that awesome.
It's whatever adds up for the courage. He has a high number in that value.
Because I have 0 courage.
Yeah, most everybody. I think Rodrigo only has 1 courage. Dutch has 0 courage. I think.
Yeah,
Matthew
Dutch has 0
6
courage.
Yeah.
Because I'm awesome. I got all the courage.
So, Rob,
Okay,
what are your thoughts when you see this? Or I guess I should say, what is Blisco's reaction when he sees this?
those people don't look healthy.
Yeah, it kind of creeps you out because it's like you've seen people with wounds and sores, and you've probably seen maybe somebody that, did you go to high school?
Yeah.
One of your high school friends may have gotten with somebody and gotten a little bit of a transmitted disease. And so you've seen those kinds of sores before. This doesn't look anything like that. And it freaks you out, and you take 3 mental stress.
Ow. Why?
Oh, because that's what the dice said. And because you failed your creepy crawly roll.
Yeah, well, my creepy crawly roll sucks.
Yeah. So you, what do you do?
Continue with the plan as it was told to me at this point.
Okay. So eventually you get to your destination and you go inside and see Doc. And at this point, you guys can sit next to each other or whatever, because this is a crowded spot. And it makes sense that the general would want you to go to a very big public spot so that nothing bad would happen to you. Although, in hindsight, the woman was screaming about she saw somebody get shot in the public right there in front of the building. But the Brigadier doesn't know that. Let's go and visit Valentino.
Yeah, I think Valentino would have also ducked into some sort of public washroom to straighten up, clean off any dirt or grime that would have accumulated in the collapsing. And from there, once he feels like he's properly straightened out, maybe try to find like a local shop and
all right,
get like a...
What kind of a shop?
Somewhere where you could try to get like beer and perhaps some smokes and.
Oh, okay. So you're gonna just pop into a pub really quick.
Yeah. Well,
roll an agility plus stealth for me.
Okay.
I mean, are you concerned about anybody following you? I guess I should ask you that, but
don't know if I was particularly concerned about it.
Okay. Well, roll an agility plus stealth anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Might be more concerned once he actually starts heading to the rendezvous spot.
Okay.
But let's see. For 8. Not a great score. But,
difficulty
no
of two.
successes.
No successes. Oh, this is bad.
Yeah.
You are sitting in the pub. Are you at the bar or are you in a booth?
Probably just at the bar.
Okay, so you're sitting at the bar, and the bar is this very nice wooden, just highly polished bar. It's got the brass rail there. You're sitting there behind, on the other side of the bar where the bartender is at. Behind him is this mirror that runs the length of the bar, and he's sitting there with his handlebar mustache, and he's cleaning glasses and pouring beer for people as they come up. And as you look into the mirror, you can see way back in the corner of the bar is a man sitting in a booth, and he is sitting ramrod straight, and he's not really blinking, and he's staring right at you in the mirror. Roll a will plus resilience, please. Difficulty of 1.
Okay, well, that's a little better. Oh,
0 successes and a complication.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm going to ask Brian this, not Valentino this. How many times has this happened to you where you have seen someone, just standing very stiff and rigid and not blinking and looking right at you? Do you remember all the times?
I don't know that I'd say that's a real common occurrence.
So the first time happened with Easy Peasy.
Okay.
A second time happened, I believe, during the car chase.
Oh, yeah.
I want to say that there was one more instance where you saw this before now. This is like the third or fourth time that you've seen this. How do you react?
I think he'll turn around. Still seem to be staring at me if I look at him directly.
Oh yeah. Take two mental stress, because this is now freaking you out.
Yeah.
Or freaking Valentino out.
I will pretty much walk up to him and ask, can I help you?
He blinks slowly at you. He stands up as he's getting ready to leave. He's about the same height as you. He puts on his hat, and as he's putting on his hat, he leans into you and he says, "You are the one." And then he walks out of the bar.
Kind of walk after him.
You walk outside and he's gone. You can't see him anywhere.
Maybe it's best if I skip the drink.
Or maybe take a double.
Maybe when I get to the other cafe.
Okay, let's go and see what Dutch is doing.
Yeah, Dutch will go a different direction from everyone else.
You are very, you're not super familiar with this town, but as you said earlier, you're familiar with the city layout and planning of most of these small towns.
Yeah. He'll go and get a newspaper.
Okay. Again,
and then
the big story is the blimp.
That's blimp.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll get a newspaper, he'll sit down, open up the newspaper, and then use that as cover to kind of look at the wallet and see if there's any ID inside.
Okay. So you open up the wallet, and inside you find what would be the equivalent of a driver's license or an ID, some papers, right, to identify who this person is. His name is John Copa or John Coppa. Or maybe it's Jan Coppa.
Mm-hmm.
You also find in there a picture of a 17, 18, 19-year-old girl. Looks to be about the same age as the guy. Perhaps this is a sweetheart. And
so
you find some money.
Of him and this girl?
Oh, no, it's just the girl.
That guy looked like he was 19?
Oh, yeah, he's young.
Okay.
Yeah. Or maybe the time has taken it out of him, but it's clear that this is like a sweetheart picture.
Okay. I mean, also, like, people just do that. Like, older men, like, court younger women. But yeah, if they look about the same age, okay.
Yeah.
What else?
And you find 5 monies in the local denomination.
Okay. Now, is that something I'm keeping track of?
It might become important later.
Okay, because I have 4.9 $5 bills.
You have 4.9 monies, and now you have the 5 monies. So you now have 9.9 monies.
Okay. Or depending on how you work it.
So the passport, German issued, has his name, has his picture. It shows that he has crossed the border multiple times between Belgium and Germany. And also it does show that he has crossed from Belgium into France. So he's crossed over into the Netherlands a couple of times. But there's nothing in this that would indicate that he said Black Sun, but there's nothing in here that indicates that he has Black Sun identifiers. There is nothing that says he is military or anything like that.
Okay.
As far as you can tell, he's a citizen that was taking pictures, ran from you, screamed something crazy, and killed himself, which should give you an indicator that he's probably not a normal citizen.
Sure. I mean, he literally said, for that evil organization you guys are aware of.
Yes.
So.
How long are you hanging out in the park?
Not super long.
Okay. Can you roll me an agility plus stealth difficulty too?
Yeah, I think he's going to try to keep moving. Like, go to the park, get a newspaper, go to the park, go get like a snack and a drink somewhere. Let me get out my sheet. Sorry. I was writing my notes and it covered up my sheet.
Nope, that's okay.
Okay, so agility plus stealth.
Stealth, difficulty 2.
1 success.
1 success. Again, man, this park is sure nice. After all of the excitement and your adrenaline is starting to wear down, you can probably just hang out in this park and drink your snack, eat your snack and drink your drink, and just kind of relax here if you wanted to. It's very nice in this park.
Yeah, I think especially since he almost certainly like smashed his own head against the other guy's head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, once Dutch sits down, he's like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not getting up until I have to."
Yeah. Let me just ask, is this the same park that Valentino went to? Valentino, let's give Brian the chance to cast your fate here, Rodrigo. Is this the same park?
It was Bug Eater that went to the park.
Oh,
Valentino
I'm sorry,
went
Bug
to
Eater.
a pub.
I'm sorry, Bug Eater. Is this the same park that you were in?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
All right.
I feel like we would know the same general locations in this.
Sure. So, Dutch, it's finally time for you to go, and you get up, and you notice that this park has lots of squirrels, and there's some dogs running around, maybe a stray cat. One of the squirrels comes running out of the bushes across the path that you're walking, and it stops, and it looks up at you, and it just has these black sores all over its face. Roll a will plus resilience, please.
Will plus
I'm
resilience.
Make this difficulty 2 by using up one of my threat.
Okay.
Ugh. He's slowly driving us all mad.
Slowly.
And also our characters have these effects.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
1 success.
1 success. Okay. This thing is creepy. What do you do as it stops and stares at you with these black sores all over its face?
I yell, "Who sent you?" No. Dutch is somebody who, unfortunately, as we've seen, easily gets queasy.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, he's gonna move directly if he was walking a direction and the squirrel came in from the opposite direction, he's gonna move directly perpendicular. Yeah, he's gonna move away from the squirrel a few steps and then find a trash can and puke out his drink,
snack.
and snack.
Yeah, take 2 physical damage for that.
Oh. He's slowly killing us, boys.
So you are able then to make your way. Your knees are probably a little shaky, but you're able to make your way to the coffee shop. Critical Hit Punch All Nazis is a production of Major Spoilers Entertainment and was produced and edited by me, Steven Schleicher. If you'd like to get a behind-the-scenes making of this episode, be sure to check out the GM Roundtable Achtung Cthulhu edition at our Patreon page, patreon.com/Major Spoilers. In each episode, I discuss my plans for the upcoming game with Dr. Bradley Will, and he shares some advice on how to be a better game master. This week, patron member John Kappa made an appearance as an NPC. Thank you, John, for your continued patronage. If you would like your name to appear as an NPC in future episodes of Critical Hit, become one of our associate producers at patreon.com/Major Spoilers. Don't forget, we also want you to record yourself doing your best on Critical Hit and send it to us at podcast@majorspoilers.com. Again, podcast@majorspoilers.com, and your voice will join the growing chorus of fans just like Allison J., who appeared at the beginning of this week's episode. Questions? Comments? Jump in the Critical Hit Discord channel. You can find a link in the show notes, and you can join for free today. Thank you again for listening, and here's hoping all of your dice rolls are critical hits.
This podcast is copyright 2023 by Major Spoilers Entertainment, LLC.